What's up, survivors? Jason here. Today I'm going to do part 3 on what to do when lost in the wilderness. Now, in the other parts, I'll put a link in the description down below to them so you can see them. Haven't done this type of video and series for quite some time, so not a lot of new subscribers have seen it. So, in this part, I'm going to talk about the different provisions, and this part is going to be about shelter. Now, a lot of people think, ooh, shelter, I should make something. Get a tarp, make it into an A-frame shelter or something like that. Or just make a debris hut. Well, a lot of people don't know, but your clothes are the first layer of shelter that you have. Now, if you're out cold, like this, probably like, I don't know, 30 degrees out, you most likely want to tuck things in. What this would do is keep in the heat from escaping. So when it's all like this, it prevents it from going off under. Now you could have something else like a little neck gaiter right here to prevent the heat coming off from right here. Or if you got something like this, and prevent it from coming out right there. Now, next thing is making insulation. This isn't enough to make a warm type of situation. Now, if you gather stuff like leaves and pine straw and stuff like that, you can do that and stuff it in. But what if it's really frost out and a lot of leaves are just wet? Now, you probably use regular little cotton bags, stuff it in. You use plastic bags as well. And this holds in a lot of the insulation and heat and prevents it from coming out. If you're even colder, button up. What this will do is give it more layers and prevent even more heat from coming out. Now, if you're out in the desert, you probably just don't want this. You want something lighter. And what you do, get like probably a lighter shirt. This is kind of a heavier shirt and won't really be well in the desert. Probably get a hat, some good boots, some pants to prevent all like the brush going against your skin if you're not into that kind of stuff. And it just prevent a lot of the sunlight from hitting you. So something like a little bandana to protect your neck. Even wetting the bandana would be much better, and getting all the shelter that you get. Now, if you're out here, it's pretty easy to make shelter. There's like the lean-to, debris hut, A-frame, stuff like that. It's pretty easy to make. Now, I don't have a lot of time here to build a whole bunch of different shelters, so I'm just going to make a miniature scale out back. So, let's get to that. Now, when you're trying to build a shelter, you most likely want to do it at daytime. So give yourself at least 3 hours before sundown to try to make a shelter. Now, a good way to try to find out how many hours left you have before sundown is use this method. Raise your hand up to the bottom of the sun, making it touch right here. Now, each of these is 15 minutes, or the whole thing is 1 hour. Each time you go down, you just keep on hitting it down like that, and it leaves you with how many hours you have left. Now, you probably want to keep it at least probably 2 feet away from your face, and actually go down and count how many hours you have left of daylight. So, when you're building your shelter, you most likely want good wood to make it. So I have some wood right here. Let's make a little lean-to. Alright, the best way to probably make a good lean-to shelter is try to find 2 trees, probably 5 or 6 feet apart, and then try to find a good log that you could cross brace it with. Now, it's kind of hard to just keep it right there, so having good cordage, like paracord, but in this scale, I'm just going to use this little twine. You can use any strong cord that you like, as long as it's pretty strong. Now, you could use quite a bit of ingenuity or different knots to try to keep this up. It's kind of hard to keep it up for the first one, but you just kind of want to lash it on there. Use lashings when trying to make this kind of shelter. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of this. You could look up a whole bunch of lashing type of videos, and it's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. So a lashing is basically kind of like going across each side and try to make it stable. And if you like, you just keep that side down instead of trying to balance it. Okay, that way, see right there, it's up by itself. And you can use the rest right here just to kind of twirl that around. And then the next part, you can grab the rest of the rope or whatever you're using. Kind of want to do this, wrap it around there, and then just go to town on the lashings. Once you got the lashings on, you throw on the sticks on top of the shelter. It all depends of how much you kind of want to, how long you want to make it, and also depends on how much resources you have. So just leaning it up against the crossbar like that. And maybe some, probably making a little crossbar across right here, and then you could add stuff to right here, or just try to make a little wall to protect the sides from the wind. This could all be easily done. It'll take a lot of time. Yes, it will. That's why you give yourself plenty of time to make it. Even this little one is taking a little bit of time. So making a wall that size, even bigger logs, probably even better, if you could carry them. And then, once you got that all set up, you get the leaves. Now, you don't want to just bury it on top first. You would actually want to stuff in all the bottom first. Make your little bed. You use leaves, different brush, anything that you got around. Stuff it at least 3 feet high. What this will do is, because once you're laying on it, it's going to compress down. So you will want much more, and make sure not to get any wet leaves, but this is just a little demonstration. You could also use little pine boughs from trees, the pine, and then it'll create much insulation they can lay on there. And then at this time, sometimes it's even better to have a little bag so you can gather a lot of the leaves. But also, if you have a trash bag, you can use that to both gather leaves, or stuff it in and then use that as your little mattress right there. because you want to keep off the ground, because the ground is going to be cold. And it would suck all of the heat right from you. So it's more important to have insulation on the ground than it is to have on top. Yeah, it's better to have a little bit of covering to protect you from like frost or anything like that, but it's much more important to have insulation. Just build it up all like that. And even if it starts to slow down or slope down and kind of fall, just put in a little bit of stick or something like that, just to kind of weigh it out. Get this side, and voila, there's your miniature lean-to shelter. So that's good enough to just lay in, have the fire out over here, maybe make a little firewall so it reflects it back into there. And it's even much better if you have something like this SOL emergency bivvy. Throw it in there when you're trying to sleep, give you much more heat. Or even something as simple as a little emergency space blanket. With this, with another piece of plastic, you can make a super shelter. And those will keep you really warm, really toasty. And that's what you want. Alright, let's get to the little debris hut. Now there's a couple ways that you try to make a good debris hut. Find yourself a good tree and lean a good, probably forked little long branch up against it. What this will do is make an angled little slope. Now once you got this set up, you just lay down all of a bunch of branches and stuff like that, and keep it all stable and all that fun stuff when trying to make a good shelter. Make sure to use good wood as well, not rotten wood, so it wouldn't really fall apart when you're trying to sleep in it. The cool thing about this one is if you want the entrance pointing somewhere, you can make the entrance anywhere that you want on it. But if you're against a tree, it's kind of harder to come out this way instead of just having it layered all like that. So having this side blocked off and then just having this opening right here could make a difference and could save on a bunch of resources. So once you got all of your sticks all set up and all that fun stuff, you can layer on the leaves. Now there's another way that you can try to make this. If you don't have a good stable tree to layer on, find yourself a good forked type of branch. Probably get 2 of them right here, something like that. Balance it that way and put it down like that. So that way it's even smaller and much more balanced than just trying to put it on a tree, because look at that. If you try to do that on the other one, it'll just fall straight down. So once you do this, you can layer on your sticks. It's almost like a little puzzle, putting on all the sticks, trying to find where they can fit and all that. And if you have any gaps on the areas, you could easily fill it with smaller branches and a bunch of debris, because this is just going to get covered. The sticks aren't there to support all the debris. Now if you want like that, or kind of this is why you get good debris. It's not that easy to make it miniature scale. There you go. I'm keeping that in. I don't care what people think. It's just a miniature scale. And it's not a life situation show. You can build it back up. This way, you have more entry right here. So you don't have to make a little door right here or a little barricade. You could probably waste a little bit of more resources because you're trying to build a wall, and that's kind of harder to make with less resources. So this way, pretty good. Once you do that, remember, tuck in your stuff inside, fill in all your debris, and then just go to town on the leaves. Just layer, like probably 3 feet high. I've seen it that high. And if it like snows or rains or something like that, it will compress down, and you would want that. I'm trying to build one of these. And this is where a good trash bag or something like that would help. Gathering a whole bunch of leaves and just dumping it straight down onto the shelter. And right there is pretty good. I'm gonna just imagine that's 3 feet. And when you walk in, make sure you have enough installation. If you have a good sleeping bag or bivy, just place that in there. Make sure that you have enough insulation to keep you off the ground. Now those are the 2 main shelters that you can probably build out in the wilderness. The A-frame is probably more for like the jungle situation or desert or something like that. And the A-frame, you can make a little bed platform or raised bed platform, which you can do inside of here, but you kind of want to just build a whole bunch of installation, just keeping all the heat that you can. Now, I want to thank you all for watching this part of what to do when lost in the wilderness, and stay tuned for part 4. I want to thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.